What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, but in this one, we got some transfer portal news, including a Michigan quarterback hitting the transfer portal, plus a new quarterback target in the transfer portal for Michigan. Also, Michigan offering a new wide receiver target, and also a couple other wide receiver targets to keep an eye on for Michigan, as well as a cornerback target and a linebacker target. We also talk about what Sherrone Moore said to reporters as he spoke on the opportunity playing against Alabama in their upcoming bowl game. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is a new transfer portal quarterback target for Michigan. But first, I want to mention that Michigan quarterback Alex Orji is planning to enter the transfer portal as he appeared in 20 games for Michigan, including 3 starts. And best of luck to Alex Orji. Hopefully he finds a great place and he gets an opportunity to, play and put his talents on display. He's a great athlete, but Michigan, obviously just did not work out at the quarterback position with him, and that is now 2 Michigan quarterbacks to enter the transfer portal after Jaden Denegale also entered the portal about a week ago as well. But Michigan, they are looking to, add on to the quarterback room, and a new emerging target is the Maryland quarterback transfer Billy Edwards Jr. as he entered the portal yesterday. He has 1 season of eligibility remaining, and according to On3's Pete Nakos, Michigan and Edwards have strong immediate interest, and both Nakos and On3 Steve Wolfong have already put in On3 predictions for Michigan to land Edwards. I was expected to look at a couple other schools, including Wisconsin, but it seems he's definitely interested in Michigan, and for Michigan's sake, I mean, this is the type of quarterback they are looking for. They got the elite freshman coming in out of Bryce Underwood, who's going to be competing for that starting job. But right now in the room, Michigan only has Davis Warren, Jaden Davis, and then the other freshman who is Chase Herbstreit coming in. So Michigan, they really need another quarterback who's going to push the younger guys like Jaden Davis and Bryce Underwood, and also compete for the starting job, and kind of just relieve some stress off of Bryce Underwood, who could really come in here and start from day one. But if you bring in a guy like Billy Edwards, who is a veteran quarterback with experience and Big Ten experience, that takes a lot of pressure off of Bryce Underwood. But Edwards, he's a 6'3", 222-pound quarterback, began his career at Wake Forest in 2021, but spent the last 3 years at Maryland and was the backup to Talia Tagovailoa, and did take over the starting job this season. He appeared in 26 games with 14 starts. This past season, he had a 65% completion rate with 2,881 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He was also 3rd in the Big Ten among all the quarterbacks, with the 3rd most passing yards in the Big Ten. So he also added 81 rushes for 150 yards and 5 scores. And if you don't include the sacks he took, which was 17, he rushed for 267 yards. So I really like this. Hopefully Michigan can land him, and I think it's exactly what Michigan needs. They needed a veteran experienced quarterback who can potentially come in and compete for the starting job and potentially start the first few weeks of the season if Bryce Underwood isn't ready. Maryland head coach Mike Locksley was really high on Edwards. In fact, earlier in the season, he said he's not just probably one of the best quarterbacks in our league right now, but one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So let me know what you guys think about that. But before we continue this video, we did want to give a shout out to BetUS. They have all the odds you need this football and basketball season. And while there's not a lot of college football games on this weekend, there is a lot of NFL games on. As we get closer and closer to the playoffs, we got the Lions taking on the Bills, which is going to be a great game. Lions favored by 1.5. Over under over-under is 54.5. There's actually a parlay that I like in this one. It's David Montgomery to have 70 plus rushing yards, 1 plus touchdowns, and the Lions to win. You can bet 25 to return 150 and win 75.50. And there are tons of other things to bet on, but currently it's a great time to get started with BetUS because they're offering a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000. Then you also get a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000, all with promo code YouTube150. So go ahead, check them out at betus.com, and obviously please gamble responsibly. But let's go ahead and continue here. Also wanted to talk about other transfer portal targets for Michigan, and one that Michigan recently extended an offer to is the Tulsa freshman wide receiver Joseph Williams, a 6'2", 195-pound wide receiver who in his freshman season had 30 receptions for 588 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging 19.6 yards per catch in 6 games played. And according to Pro Football Focus, Williams was only behind Ohio State freshman wide receiver Jeremiah Smith in terms of graded first-year wideouts in college football. So he was a former 3-star prospect, but he shined his freshman season, and Michigan could definitely add, younger wide receiver talent to the room. Another wide receiver target Michigan could potentially be going after is the USC wide receiver Deuce Robinson, a former 5-star receiver, 6'6", 230 pounds, and he did enter the transfer portal this week. Also, Sherrone Moore recently followed him on social media, so he could emerge as a top wide receiver target for Michigan as well. He had 23 catches for 396 yards and 5 touchdowns at USC this past season, and he does have 2 years of eligibility remaining. And then another wide receiver Michigan has been in contact with is the 5'11", 174-pound wide receiver Eric Rivers from Florida International. Does have 1 season of eligibility remaining, but Michigan is one school that has contacted him with a ton of others already. And he had 62 receptions for 1,172 yards and 12 touchdowns this past season. Also finished the season in top 5 in college football in receiving yards and touchdowns. So those are a couple wide receiver targets potentially for Michigan right there, including a couple of them they've been in contact with and a couple they've already offered. A couple other targets though potentially for Michigan. First, Arizona cornerback Tacario Davis, who just recently entered the portal, who could have potentially been a NFL draft prospect, but instead elected to enter the transfer portal with 1 final season of eligibility remaining. A 6'4", 190-pound cornerback, one of the top transfer portal targets out there right now. So it's going to be really hard for Michigan to land him, but that's one to keep an eye on, because if Michigan could land him, that would be absolutely huge. But one other guy Michigan has been in contact with is the Grambling linebacker Andrew Jones, who also has heard from multiple schools. A 6'2", 225-pound linebacker who totaled 122 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble this season. So that's another potential target for Michigan. And obviously Michigan, we talked about a couple other targets already. One that did have a recent visit is the Liberty offensive lineman Jordan White, who recently just visited Michigan. The 6'2", 300-pound interior lineman, one of the best offensive linemen in the portal. That seems to be a big target for Michigan right now in the transfer portal. Also, real quick here, did want to give a shout out to a channel member, a Michigan Legend channel member, and that is Michael Long. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the support, and thank you to all the channel members out there. I appreciate all you guys. But today, Michigan officially hired Chip Lindsey as their offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. We talked all about him, everything you guys need to know about him in our last video. Also wanted to mention Michigan's 2025 football schedule is officially out. It came out a couple days ago, and definitely a lot more favorable for the Wolverines this season, or for the 2025 season, compared to this past season. They do have 6 home games, 6 away games, including going on the road to Oklahoma, on the road at Nebraska, at USC, at Michigan State, at Northwestern, which should be played on Wrigley Field, I believe, and then also at Maryland. Rest of the games are home, including the season opener against New Mexico on August 30th. So let me know what you guys think about that schedule, your early record predictions for Michigan. Then also wanted to end this video talking about what Sherrone Moore said as he traveled to Tampa, Florida, the site of their bowl game against Alabama for a contract signing ceremony. Both head coaches were there, and both of them spoke to reporters. And Sherrone Moore said, you know, they're super excited for the opportunity to play a great opponent in Tampa. Excited to get away from the cold weather for a little bit. Love our state of Michigan, but sometimes it's fun to get away from the weather up there. And he said, we're ready to go. The boys are getting prepared right now. And he said, it's just another opportunity to play the game that you love and play the game with your brothers. And he said, they're super excited. He said, obviously, we had a great matchup last year in the Rose Bowl. And he said that, you know, Michigan players are fired up to take on Alabama in this bowl game. Michigan set to take on Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl on December 31st in Tampa, Florida. And with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Again, shout out to BetUS. Go ahead, check them out at betus.com. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.